15 Strangest and Most Shocking Facts About F. Scott Fitzgerald. F. Scott Fitzgerald, the iconic American writer known for works such as The Great Gatsby, had a life that was as complex and fascinating as his novels. From his glamorous yet tragic personal life to his financial struggles and other lesser-known details, Fitzgerald remains a subject of intrigue. In this video, we will dive into 15 of the most surprising and shocking facts about this legendary author. Fact number 1. A late bloomer in literacy. Born on September 24, 1896, in St. Paul, Minnesota, F. Scott Fitzgerald was not an early reader. In fact, he didn't learn to read until he was nearly 5 years old, which is considered late by contemporary standards. Despite this setback, Fitzgerald's intellectual prowess blossomed as he grew older. He eventually found himself at Princeton University, a prestigious Ivy League school, where he engaged with the academic and social elite of his time. Before his academic journey, he served in World War I, although he never saw combat. His late start did not hinder his rise to become one of America's literary giants, demonstrating that it's not how you start but how you finish that truly counts. Number 2. A name laden with historical weight. F. Scott Fitzgerald was named after his second cousin, 3 times removed, Francis Scott Key, who penned the U.S. national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. The significance of carrying such a historic name was not lost on Fitzgerald. This may have fueled his lifelong quest for enduring fame and literary greatness. The idea of legacy and making a lasting impact on American culture was a constant theme in Fitzgerald's life and works. Number 3. The Princeton Dropout. Though he attended Princeton University, one of the most esteemed educational institutions in the United States, Fitzgerald never completed his degree. Struggling academically, he was far more interested in the social scene and extracurricular activities. He was an active contributor to the Princeton Tiger, the university's humor magazine. His lackluster academic performance eventually led him to leave Princeton in 1917 in favor of joining the U.S. Army during World War I. He was convinced he would perish in the war and wanted to make his mark before that happened. Number 4. The soldier who never saw combat. Fitzgerald served in the U.S. Army during World War I, but unlike many of his contemporaries, he never saw combat. Stationed in Alabama for the majority of his service, he was far removed from the front lines in Europe. Fitzgerald used this time to focus on his writing. Fearing he might not survive the war, he drafted his first novel, This Side of Paradise, while in military service. Though he never experienced the battle, this period was instrumental in shaping his literary career, effectively setting the stage for his future successes. Number 5. A Whirlwind Romance, sealed on April 3, 1920. F. Scott Fitzgerald was deeply enamored with Zelda Sayre from the moment he met her in 1918, while he was stationed at Camp Sheridan in Alabama. She was the quintessential Southern belle, and for Fitzgerald, it was love at first sight. Despite her initial reservations about his shaky financial status, they married on April 3, 1920, just a week after the publication of his first novel, This Side of Paradise, on March 26, 1920. The timing was crucial, as the book's success provided just enough assurance for Zelda to say I do. Number 6, earning just $8,397 from The Great Gatsby. Although The Great Gatsby is considered one of the greatest American novels, Fitzgerald's earnings from the book during his lifetime were disappointingly low. He made just $8,397, equivalent to around $130,000 in today's money when adjusted for inflation. Throughout his life, he struggled with financial stability and resorted to writing short stories for magazines like Esquire and The Saturday Evening Post, which paid him between $200 and $4,000 per story, to make ends meet. Number 7. A lifelong battle with alcohol. Fitzgerald's struggle with alcoholism was a constant and destructive force throughout his adult life, from his Princeton years up to his death. Although it's hard to pin down exact numbers, he was known to consume a bottle of gin a day during his worst periods, exacerbating his health problems and straining his relationship with Zelda. His heavy drinking is widely believed to have played a significant role in his early death on December 21, 1940, at the age of 44. Number 8. The unfinished The Last Tycoon. Fitzgerald was working on his final novel, The Last Tycoon, when he died unexpectedly. The unfinished novel was published posthumously in 1941 and was based on the life of Hollywood mogul Irving Thalberg. Fitzgerald had written approximately half of the novel, consisting of about 65,000 words, at the time of his death. Despite its incomplete state, the book provides an invaluable glimpse into Hollywood's golden age, a subject that had long fascinated Fitzgerald but that he was never able to fully explore in his completed works. Number 9. Zelda's Struggles and the Shadows in Fitzgerald's work. Zelda Fitzgerald's mental health issues cast a long and complicated shadow over F. Scott Fitzgerald's life and work. Diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1930, Zelda was institutionalized at the Phipps Clinic at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore multiple times. Her struggles became the inspiration for several female characters in Fitzgerald's works, most notably Nicole Diver in Tender is the Night, published in 1934. Fitzgerald spent considerable time and money seeking help for Zelda, affecting his ability to focus on his writing during this tumultuous period. Number 10. Coined the Jazz Age. Fitzgerald is credited with naming his own era, popularizing the term the Jazz Age to describe the optimism, exuberance, and cultural changes of the 1920s. The phrase was immortalized in his 1925 collection of short stories, Tales of the Jazz Age. Fitzgerald's identification and portrayal of the era helped frame how it is viewed today, encapsulating both the highs and lows of a period marked by great societal changes. Number 11. The emotional and intellectual anchor Sheila Graham. Sheila Graham, a British-American gossip columnist, became Fitzgerald's significant other in the late 1930s while he was in Hollywood. While still legally married to Zelda, who was in a mental institution at the time, Fitzgerald found in Graham not just a lover but also an intellectual equal and confidant. Their relationship lasted until his death in 1940, and it was with Graham that he tried to create a new life, despite the haunting presence of his past and the deteriorating health fueled by his alcoholism. Number 12. The irony of posthumous fame. One of the most poignant facts about Fitzgerald is that he did not live to see his work receive the critical acclaim it holds today. During his lifetime, The Great Gatsby, now considered one of the greatest American novels, sold fewer than 25,000 copies. It was only after his death and especially after World War II, when the book was given to U.S. soldiers as part of a Council on Books in Wartime program, that its reputation began to grow. Now, The Great Gatsby sells more than 500,000 copies annually, standing as a staple of American literature and high school curricula. Number 13. Short-lived screenwriting career. Fitzgerald moved to Hollywood in the 1930s with high hopes of becoming a successful screenwriter. Shockingly, despite his literary talents, he was considered a failure in Hollywood. His only screen credit is for the film Three Comrades, 1938, and even that was heavily edited by the studio. Number 14. The Great Gatsby's poor initial sales. Today considered an American classic, The Great Gatsby initially sold poorly, with many copies of the first edition going unsold. Fitzgerald went to his grave thinking the book was a failure, unaware it would later sell millions of copies and become a standard text in American classrooms. Number 15. Destroyed unpublished works. Fitzgerald was known to be quite critical of his own work. It's been reported that he destroyed an unknown number of stories and even entire manuscripts that he deemed unworthy. The exact content of these works remains a tantalizing mystery.